Salvete! Welcome to Latin via Lectionary, a short Latin lesson drawn from the Sunday Mass readings. I'm Sean Burns of Latin via Liturgy, and I'm happy to share this week's lesson with you. Today, the 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time, from St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 13, the parable of the weeds in the wheat, the mustard seed, and the leaven. One similar phrase throughout all three will be the topic of our lesson. Let's take a look. Simile factum est regnum caelorum homini, qui seminavit bonum semen in agro suo. The kingdom of heaven may be likened to a man who sowed good seed in his field. Our lesson will focus on two words from that verse, simile and homini, likened to a man. Simile, the adjective, is followed by a noun in the dative case. That's what homini is here in this sentence. That's going to be our rule for any adjective that shows likeness, fitness, friendliness, nearness, or similar concepts, as well as their opposites. They take the dative. So when we say simile homini, we are making a comparison. Really, we get the English word simile, of course, from the Latin adjective simile. And the thing we're comparing with the noun simile originally refers to will be in the dative case. And the thing I'd like you to think about is, you often think the dative has to mean two or four, and that might be a good translation here. It is the translation we heard in the readings, likened to a man. But we could also just as easily say like a man. We could translate simile as similar to a man. So it's not about the word two or four as much as the concept that simile is connecting two nouns together, the kingdom and the man. Right? The kingdom of heaven is like unto a man. And we can see other examples, different adjectives that work similarly and maybe use different idiomatic English translations that don't carry that two or four. We can see optus, as you have here, optus est regno Dei, fit for the kingdom of God. So there's four rather than two. We can see inimicus vobis, an enemy to you. But now here's the one we see every week in the Creed, right? Consubstantialem patri, consubstantial with the Father. So the thing to keep in mind is consubstantial is an adjective, much like similis or optus or those others that have a meaning of likeness, and it takes the dative. Consubstantialem patri in the dative, although in English we're going to say consubstantial with the Father. Consubstantial to the Father would definitely sound odd. So we don't want to get caught up on dative meaning two or four as much as understand that with certain adjectives, there will be a dative noun that finishes the thought, that shows who is like someone else or similar to someone else or fit for something, etc. In today's reading, besides the first one we looked at, we see two other examples. So three altogether, three different parables, three different comparisons. Simile factum est regnum caelorum homini, simile est regnum caelorum grano sanapis, and simile est regnum caelorum fermento. All three of those will be translated like a man, like a mustard seed, like yeast, similar to a man, similar to a mustard seed, however you want to put it. Thank you for joining me for this week's short Latin lesson. Please come back next week for another lesson from the Sunday Mass readings. Valete et bonam Dominicam.